assignment, I decided to create an online learning environment for teachers, but they can also use it with their students because I have added many resources designed for them to share with their class. I used Moodle as my platform.
And as you can see, I have my course that's available, and it is English as an Additional Language or Dialect, Stage 1, Teaching and Learning with Technology. So the aim of the course is to show some teaching and learning ideas for Stage 1 EALD, new arrival students, that incorporate the use of technology.
I haven't designed this because I think I'm a particular expert in the field. I've designed this because I think it's a good opportunity for teachers to share with each other, to learn collaboratively together, and basically share and comment on each other's resources, because I think the more we collaborate, the better our resources will be, the better the students' learning will be. So if we click in here, we can go into the available course. Moodle has a lot of features that attracted me to it. One of which is the ability to make the navigation easy for people using your online resource. So the online learning environment is separated into topics. So on my course, I have YouTube resources for EALD learners. I've got comics for improved English. And I have PowerPoints with mixed media. So as part of this demonstration of how this online learning environment works, I'll just explain some of the features that attracted me to Moodle. So a quick run through, I used this feature, which is forum style. So I can give content, which I'll just show you in here. This is my YouTube one. I provided some content. I've talked about advantages of using YouTube, but then also some of the dangers of it, given that a lot of YouTube resources are actually American and pronunciation may not be what we're aiming, as they say Z in most of the alphabet songs instead of Z. And I've also given some resources. Then at the end, I've given a question, or actually I've given 3. And I've written for the first one, consider what are the strengths and weaknesses of each and comment. That's regarding the YouTube video examples I've provided. What video resources do you use in your classroom? What are the limitations of these? And is there anything in the videos you would need to clarify with the students before viewing? So, and I've got 2 other questions. So basically the forum enables students to click in, add new discussion topic, they can answer, blah, 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 and then they can share that on the forum for all other participants to see, and they can comment on each other's contributions, which brings in that collaboration. So I'm not just giving information and the other participants are just absorbing it. We are all learning from each other. So all the contributors are part of the learning experience because it's collaboration. So I've used that feature for every topic. So I've got a forum here to talk about 21st century learning and how it connects to improved English. I want students to share their comics because we talk about using online comic tools, make your own comic. And I've also used it if students wish to create their own multimedia PowerPoints and they can share them there. So another feature that I have used is direct linking to resources. So for example, in the YouTube resources for EALD learners section, I did suggest some videos that I have used in the past and asked the participants to comment on them. And so this is where it's easier for them to use this with their class. So instead of going through and copying and pasting links, they can just simply click onto the link and it will take them directly to where I want them to go, which in this case is the Wiggles alphabet, because we were discussing trying to use Australian videos where possible. And you can just go back like that. So I've got the Wiggles alphabet, phonics song, months of the year. So the use of those two forms of content distribution pretty much sums up my first topic, as I had the forum, some information, students could write comments in the forum, share their YouTube resources, and view some of mine through the links. The second topic, I have used different methods. So what I've started with is a lesson module, which is represented by these three. And that's about why I use comics, which gives an introduction to that topic. Now this will come up because a good thing about the lesson module is if you leave and you come back, it will actually let you start on the page that you last saw, but I don't want to do that, so I'll say no. So here I've got some content that talks about possibilities with comics in regards to EALD and basically some of the benefits that have been found from using them and connections to the syllabus and the ESL scales. So all those good things. And then I was able to just make a little link to the next page in which I give some examples. So I've talked about different sites that are free that teachers could use in their classrooms to explore comic making with their students as part of an interactive activity. So I've used Pixton, which is a site here, and I've created this little example comic and discussed how you could make them with the class, and it could bring up other little topics that come up, such as emotions, which is a topic explored in stage 1, and also important words for English as a second language students to learn, like scared and happy and all those things. So talked about how it helps creativity as well. And then here's an example from another site that I used. This one's from Storyboard That, and how you can use comics in your class and you can make it together and you can decide on a dialogue that will help with them achieving their ESL scales outcomes, because a lot of those are revolving around being able to make requests and basically survival English. So here you can see that I've made a little comic which says, "May I borrow a pencil, please?" "Yes, you can. I have a spare." "Thank you very much. You're welcome." So you can make simple comics with the class to illustrate basic English transactions that they will experience every day. So from there, I would then click the next little jump link, which talks about how you can task the class. So whereas the previous section was based on how you can do collaborative activities with the teacher and the students all working together in creating their comics and talking about the different aspects as they do so, this one is about how you can set individual or small group tasks for the class using the online comic software and the advantages of that. So I've talked a bit about that here, and then I've provided an example that the teachers could use. This is an example from the Pixton site once again. On this site you can actually edit it to make your own, so it can relate to whatever topic you are exploring as a class. And it basically, you can set the parameters of what you want the students to do, give them some characters to choose from, background. This one wants them to talk about what they'd do if they meet a dinosaur, but you could make one based on any topic, any subject area you are exploring. And the students can actually work on that and send it to you. So that's a very nifty little idea. Then from there you can go to quiz. And this is still part of the learning module, so just ask some simple questions about what the learning module talked about. Are comics too complicated a tool for stage 1? No. Submit. Correct. An explanation of why. And then here is a question which is all about its connections with the ESL scales outcomes, because I thought it was very important to make a point of it connecting to the curriculum and to the ESL scales, just so we see how it is actually beneficial, not just fun. So I've given an example of an ESL scales outcome for all of the areas, so writing outcome, a reading and responding outcome, and an oral interaction outcome. They're all on the low levels of the spectrum because, generally speaking, your ESL students in stage 1 are fairly likely to be levels 1, 2, 3, although not always the case. So the answer is all 3 mentioned. And then it says correct. So for the remainder of that topic, the bulk of that topic is the lesson module I just showed you, but it's also got the forum that I mentioned previously, some notes about 21st century learning, what is it, how does it actually relate to what I'm talking about in this section, and then the opportunity to comment. And it's got the link to those 2 sites, an invitation for the students to share any comics they may have created. And of course, the other option that I've used for content presentation is using a page. I won't click that because that's just the references. But I put them in there not only because obviously I need to, because I'm not a plagiarist, but also because if they hit, you go into the resources, you can access them yourself, so participants might benefit from reading the reading material that I read. The next section is PowerPoints with mixed media, and I have used a page there in a more interesting manner than simply giving references, and that is to give some information on what mixed media is, what benefits has it been found to promote, and how you can relate that to PowerPoints. So that's very simple. And then there's an example of a mixed media PowerPoint that I created. So I've linked it to KLA outcomes and talked about how it can relate to the ESL scales. And in this case, I've created a mixed media PowerPoint that is about Aboriginal people and the tools they used. And if you click that, it downloads. You may have just seen that jump down there. So once again, that's an example of how this course, although created, obviously this is for teachers, but because there are resources such as this that you can download and use with your students, it is also for students. Like, the students benefit from it because you can use the things from here in your classroom straight away. They're just there, they're ready. And then you can help other teachers by commenting on, how did it go? How did the students find that? And you can go to the next activity, which is where they can put their own multimedia PowerPoint presentations, and especially if they're curriculum relevant or ESL scales relevant, you can use them and you can just give each other feedback, which is, again, brings out the collaborative nature of this site. It's not just me saying, oh, this is a great thing, use it. It's saying, oh, well, this is what I have done. Can you give an example and share it with the rest of us? And then I've got references, and that is the end of this course online. I'll just quickly show you a little snippet of the PowerPoint. So just to give a small snippet of the PowerPoint that can be downloaded. It is multimedia, so there's pictures, there's writing, and when I click it, you'll even hear my voice, which is delightful, I'm sure. It also connects to the internet in some sections, so after looking at this section about weaving, which was used for making baskets and bags, and how they use the bags, you can just click that, and it'll go to a video that shows basket weaving. And it's an 8-op week, University one, so you know it's going to be good.
So that's the end of my demonstration of how my online learning environment works. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be giving the link to my Moodle site on the link to submit. If not, it will definitely be in the assignment forum. Thank you.